Welcome, good morning. My name is Erin and this is a 1 hour all levels flow class. And if you have a blanket of some kind today, that'll be helpful. You can just place that at the end of your mat. It doesn't have to be a yoga blanket. And then any other props you like to have on hand. And we'll start in a comfortable seat. If you're newer to yoga, that can be cross-legged, but always the option to sit up on the heels or a block instead. And then if you're experiencing knee pain, you can sit with legs forward, slight bend in the knees. Find your most comfortable seat this morning and start to ground down through the left and right sides of the body. As you ground down through the hips, roll the shoulders back and down and start to lightly engage the abdominal muscles as you begin to smooth out and control your breath. When you're ready, close the eyes and the mouth and start to breathe through the nose. As you breathe, draw each successive inhale a little deeper into the lungs, eventually feeling the belly rise on the inhale and contract in and up on the exhale. With your next exhale, lightly constrict the back of the throat and start to cultivate Ujjayi Pranayama, yogic victory breath. Begin to hear that audible oceanic quality to the breath. If you're newer to yoga, you're not sure about Ujjayi, just begin to cultivate any intentional diaphragmatic breath where you're actively using the abdominals to push the air up and out with each exhale. A couple breaths like this, tuning into a pace you can maintain when we heat things up. And in my classes this week, I'm focusing on the theme of neck health and neck strengthening. So we'll take some work today to open through the neck, but also really focus on keeping the neck in a healthy alignment throughout our practice. One more deep Ujjayi breath here, in and out through the nose. And then open the eyes, keep the breath moving as we prepare to move. With an inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, slowly lower the arms, palms down, moving on the breath. Inhale, flip the palms, reach the arms up, grow tall. Exhale, palms down, slowly lower. Inhale, lift the arms, maybe gaze turns up. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, bring the hands behind the back of the neck without interlacing the fingers. And then start to draw the chin toward the chest. Pull your elbows together. Keep sitting tall. Keep shoulders over hips here as you start to open through the back of the neck. Use the weight of the hands to add a little more force here. And breathe. Next, inhale, open the elbows, lift the chest, seated cow-cat. Exhale, tuck the chin, draw the elbows together, round the back. A few more like this on your breath. Keep the hips rooting down, keep shoulders over hips. The next time you inhale and open the elbows, we'll hold here. Start to lift the chest toward the sky, and then release the hands, bend the elbows, Prana Mudra, squeeze the shoulder blades together, press the palms back, see if you can get elbows to shoulder height. One more inhale. Exhale, release the arms down. Next, inhale, reach the right arm up. Bring the right hand to the left side of the head And start to let that right ear release toward the shoulder. Reach your left fingers out to the side, lift the fingers off the mat. And then you can explore moving that left hand forward and back. Find that sweet spot, opening through the left side of the neck. Option to turn gaze up slightly. That feels okay. Take one more inhale. Bring the right hand to the right side of the head. Bring your head through center. Release the arms. Next, inhale, sweep the left arm high. Left hand to the right side of the head as you let the left ear drop toward the shoulder. Lift the right fingertips up. Reach the right hand to the right. And then once more, play with moving that right arm forward and back. Breathing into the right side of the neck. Option to shift the gaze up any amount. One more deep breath cycle here. Take a deep inhale. Left hand to left side of the head. Press your head through center. And then switch the cross of your legs if they're crossed, balancing out the hips. If you're on the knees, stay right where you are. Next, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, walk the hands forward for a forward fold. Tent up on the fingers, and then press the hips back. Find that length from wrists to armpits to hip creases. Next, inhale, walk the hands back in, and then make your way to tabletop. Coming to plant the palms and the knees, stacking shoulders right over wrists, hips over knees. Toes can be tucked or untucked here. And then flatten through the palms, use all the knuckles and the fingers. Take an inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, Marjarasana. Exhale, tuck and round, chin to chest, Vinyasa. Inhale, arch the back, finding cow pose. Exhale, tuck and round. Once more, inhale, arch the back, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck and round. And then meet me in neutral tabletop. Keeping hips right over knees, keeping all 10 toes tucked. Start to walk your hands forward to melting heart. Ideally keeping arms shoulder distance apart here. You can lower the forehead to a prop or the mat. If you have the space, maybe lowering chest and chin to the mat. This is much more intense on the shoulders. Wherever you're at, keep pulling the shoulders down and back as you reach the arms forward. Anahatasana. And then check in with the neck. Can you relax the neck and the face, even as you engage the arms and abdomen here? Next, inhale, walk the hands in, tabletop, and then send the hips up and back. Our first downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Throughout our practice today, I invite you to really tune in to releasing the neck in downward facing dog. We have a tendency to want to look forward, maybe to look at the teacher or check our alignment. If you do that, just make sure you come back to fully releasing the head toward the mat. And then press the hips back, press through the center of the palms. Find your longest line from wrists to armpits to hips to ankles. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank, hold here. Knees can be lifted or lowered. In plank pose, long line from back of the head to heels, and the gaze stays low, looking right at the top edge of your mat, so the back of the neck is long. One more inhale. Exhale, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, back to plank. Just a breath. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Keep the buttocks lifted. And we'll hold here. Toes stay tucked to the mat. If the chin doesn't come all the way to the mat, you can bring the forehead down. Otherwise, shift the gaze forward. And then release the chin to the mat. Let the back of the neck relax. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide to the belly. Hover palms and knees. Keep the toes on the mat. Holding here, classical cobra. Elbows drawing back and down. Knees lifting up off the mat. Bhujangasana. One more inhale, lift the rib cage up. Exhale, press through plank, back to downward facing dog. Take 2 deep Ujjayi breaths here. Let the back of the neck release as you send the hips and heels back and down. With your next inhale, shift the gaze forward, come on the toes, and start to tiptoe toward the hands, looking right between the thumbs, eventually meeting me in a forward fold at the top of the mat. When you find your fold, catch the opposite elbows with the palms, and start to sway left and right as you draw the weight forward toward the toes. To find your balance, spread the toes wide, create the biggest foundation through the feet that you can. Back of the neck is fully relaxed here as well. Face is soft. Next inhale, half lift, bring the fingers to the shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms out and up. Palms touch. Exhale, release the arms and find mountain pose, Tadasana. Start to ground down through the feet and then begin to engage the whole body. Inner elbows drawing toward the hips, fingers reaching toward the outside of the feet, creating as much space between tops of the shoulders and bottoms of the ears as you can. Gaze is straight forward here. We have a tendency to lift the chin up, bring the chin to a neutral place, long line through the back of the neck. Keep this alignment warming up with classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes on the breath. With an inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Lower knees if you like. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Hug the elbows to the ribs. Inhale, slide to the belly. Lift the palms and knees. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, back to low lunge. Exhale, step to the top and fold. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, arms to heart center. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, forward and fold. Left foot steps back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Keep the gaze low. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Gaze comes forward. Inhale, slide to the belly. Classical cobra. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot steps forward. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, heart. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale to plank, Phalakasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heart. Last side. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale for plank. Phalakasana. Exhale, lower. Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward. Bhujangasana. Exhale, back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward. Inhale. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, slight back bend. Exhale, heart, and release the arms. Come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Ground through the feet. And then close the eyes or soften your drishti, your gaze. Take a few deep rounds of breath here, tuning into any new sensations from Surya Namaskar. Keep that rhythmic breath. Open the eyes. With an inhale, reach the right arm up, right hand to left side of the head, and start to release the right ear toward the shoulder. Reach your left arm wide. And then notice if your hips push forward, pull them back, shoulders over hips, belly is active. Just like in our seated shape, you can play with working that left hand forward and back. Maybe shifting gaze up to the left. Equally grounding through both feet here. One more inhale. Exhale, use the right hand, bring the face through center. Reach the right arm down. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale, left hand, right side of the head. Release your left ear toward the shoulder. And then reach the right arm wide. Find that movement forward and back with the arm. And breathe. Notice if the rib cage is spilling forward, pull it in and back. Maybe gaze turns up. Keep breathing through the right foot as well. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand, press the head through center, meeting at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Exhale to downward facing dog. And we'll move through a flow here on the breath. Next, inhale forward to plank. Push forward on the toes, lower to the belly. Untuck your toes. Inhale, modern cobra, hips on the mat. Exhale, press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. A few deep Ujjayi breaths here. Know you can always lower the knees and find child's pose instead. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Next inhale, send the right leg up and back. Exhale, step through for low lunge. Lower your back knee. Bring the front knee right over the ankle. With an inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, drop the hips, but pull the inner thighs together. Finding that balance between lifting up through the spine, grounding down through the hips. And then pull your shoulders back and down. Maybe untuck those back toes, bringing palms together. Vinyasa, horse pose. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, plant the left palm, send the right arm high for a twist. Stay here or pop up on your back toes, straightening through the left leg. Either way, inhales to bring the crown of the head forward. Exhales to shift the gaze up toward the right thumb. Parivrtta Parshvakonasana, revolved side angle. Take a deep inhale here. On the exhale, plant the left foot, bend the left knee, shift your weight all the way to the left. Skater pose, both feet are planted, arms reaching to the left. No Sanskrit for this one, but imagining you're in a skater type position here, sitting hips back. Good, keep reaching through the fingers. And breathe, lots of strength in that left leg. Next, inhale, come forward to the right, plant the palms, frame your right foot, and step it back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank, and lower chaturanga or to the belly. Find cobra or up dog. Meet me back in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Remembering you can always skip the flows or add extra push-ups. We'll take that on the second side. Inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands for low lunge. Lower your back knee, front knee over ankle. And with an inhale, rise up, arms high. Exhale, draw the inner thighs together, lengthen the spine up. Again, option to untuck the back toes, maybe bring palms together. And breathe. Anjaneyasana. Even as you reach through the arms, keep drawing shoulders down from the ears, lengthening through the neck. One more inhale here. Exhale, plant the right palm, send the left arm high, stack your shoulders. Stay here or pop up on your back toes, right leg becoming straight and strong. And then actively draw your left knee toward the body. Reach the crown of the head forward, create your longest spine here. Maybe gaze turns up to the left thumb. Parivrtta Parshvakonasana. Deep inhale here. Exhale, bend the right knee, plant the right foot. Moving towards skater pose, shifting your weight to the right. Reach both arms to the right. Sit the hips back. Good. Keep both feet planted here. Right toes turning out. And breathe. One more inhale. Exhale, bring the palms to the front of the mat. Frame the foot. Step it back. Downward facing dog. Next inhale, forward to plank. Move through your flow. Meet me back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. When you find down dog, fully release the back of the neck. Run the tongue between the lips and the teeth. Arms, legs, and belly are active, but neck and face are soft. One more inhale here. Exhale, knees to the wide edge of the mat. Big toes touch, press the hips back. Wide-legged balasana, child's pose. And then if it feels okay on the shoulders, bend the elbows, bring the palms together. Walk your elbows forward first, and then draw thumbs to the back of the neck. Just like in down dog, child's pose, neck is fully relaxed. Come back to that rhythmic Ujjayi breath. Next inhale, press up to hands and knees. Meet me in tabletop pose. Setting up for rabbit here, Shashangasana, similar to headstand setup. Keeping hips over knees, walk your hands back and bring the very crown of your head to the mat. Make sure you're not resting on the forehead. Really come to that flat round spot on the top of the head. And then reach your hands back behind the thighs. Or reach your hands all the way back for your heels, strongly drawing the chin to the chest. Either way, toes are tucked to the mat. Gaze looking back between the legs. You should feel some space opening between bottom of the ears and tops of shoulders. A great way to release the neck, but also a good pose to prep for headstands as we work to get heart above head here. Few more breaths in Shashangasana. Take one more inhale. Exhale, walk the hands forward, tuck the toes, send the hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Next inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands for high lunge. Stay lifted on the back toes. With an inhale, rise up, arms high. Exhale, settle in. Just like low lunge, front knee over ankle. And keep your hips squared here, pulling left hip forward, right hip back. Ashtachandrasana. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, palms to heart center. Twist to the right. Stay upright in the torso here. Right elbow back, left elbow forward. See if you can keep shoulders over hips. Maybe walking that right foot a little further forward. Next, inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to the long edge of your mat. Wide-legged fold. Turn your big toes slightly in. And release the neck. Just like in down dog, let the head hang heavy. And then either bring blocks under your hands to lift the floor or plant the palms on the mat. Walk your hands back, tops of fingers aligned with tops of toes. If you have Shalamba Shirshasana, you're welcome to move to headstand here, finding that nice triangle between head and palms. If you're working toward that, same mechanics as our yoga push-up. Bending the elbows, drawing elbows toward the ribs, and then start to draw the weight to the toes. Explore what it feels like to press through the palms, ideally putting almost no weight on the top of the head. Good. A couple more breaths to explore your variation here. If you did invert, moving back to your wide-legged fold. We'll take an inhale, half lift, come on the fingers, bend the knees, bring the hands to the hips, and roll all the way to standing. Heel toe your feet together. And we'll step with control to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Next, inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands for high lunge. Keep that back heel lifted. And with an inhale, rise up, arms high. Exhale, deep bend in the front knee over ankle. And start to work your shoulders down and back into the sockets. You can always take a micro bend in that back knee. With time, working to stack the back heel right over the toes. Crescent Moon, Ashta Chandrasana. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, palms to heart center. Twist to the left, staying upright here. Left elbow back, right elbow forward. Maybe gaze starts to turn back. See if you can keep shoulders over hips here, really twisting from the base of the spine. And breathe. Next, inhale, arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to the long edge of the mat, back to wide-legged forward fold. Big toes slightly in. Take an inhale, half lift. On the exhale, plant the right palm under the face, right on the long edge of your mat. Inhale, sweep the left arm high. Exhale, hold here, stacking left shoulder over right. Really press through that right palm, and then tune into your neck. Each inhale, crown of the head pulling forward in space. Exhale, shifting the gaze up to the left. In yoga, we always want our breath to guide our movement and let the gaze follow after. Option to wrap the left arm behind the back. Last couple breaths here. With an inhale, sweep the left arm high. Exhale, replace right palm with left. Inhale, right arm high and hold here. Stack right shoulder over left. Strongly press through your left palm. And then start to reach the crown of the head forward, lengthening through the spine. Using your exhales to twist the gaze just a bit further up to the right. Good, Prasarita twist. Deep inhale here. Exhale, release, bend the knees, hands to the hips, and roll all the way to standing. Heel toe your feet together. And we'll take standing balance here. Moving into Vrikshasana, tree pose. If you like a wall nearby, you can move so one set of fingers brush the wall. And then we'll start hands on the hips, feet hips distance apart. Kickstand your right heel to your left ankle. Before going deeper, pull that left hip in, stand tall. Stay right here, or bring right sole of the foot to the inner calf or the inner thigh. Wherever you're at, actively rolling that right hip back. Maybe palms come to heart center, Anjali Mudra. You can grow your branches up and overhead. And breathe. A steady drishti, focal point, will help with balance here in Vrikshasana. Next, inhale, lift the right knee, lift the arms. Exhale, release, shake out the hips and legs. And we'll set up to take that on the second side. Option to adjust yourself if you're using a wall here. This time, hands to hips, grounding through the right foot, and kickstand your left heel to the right inner ankle. First, pull in and up on that right leg, stand tall. And then ideally move toward the variation you took on the first side. Wherever you end up, actively rolling that left hip back in space. Maybe finding Anjali Mudra or opening the arms up and overhead. And breathe. Next, inhale, lift the left knee, lift the arms. Exhale, release, shake it out. Nicely done. And step to the top of the mat. We'll take a half sun salute, bringing that out. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Option for one more flow here on your breath, or you can choose a resting shape. Choose what you need. If you're flowing, we'll meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. And from down dog, one more inhale. Exhale, lower to the knees. Slide the legs to one side. Then we'll come all the way to a seat. When you find your seat, bend the knees. Plant the feet hips distance apart. And then bring hands behind the body, fingers pointed toward you. We'll work on opening through the front of the neck here while engaging the muscles in the side of the neck. Take an inhale, press through the hands and feet, lift the chest. Start to squeeze shoulder blades together. Next, inhale, lift the hips as high as you can, knees over ankles, reverse tabletop. If it feels okay, release the neck back. To draw the weight out of the neck, press through the palms, lift the sternum up, squeeze shoulders together. And breathe. Purvottanasana, intense east-facing pose. Take one more inhale. Exhale, release all the way to a seat. Shake out the shoulders if you need. And then find your blanket if you have one. We're moving to the shoulder stand sequence here. Even if you normally practice shoulder stand without a blanket, I'll invite us to try with the blanket today to alleviate some pressure on the neck. So to place your blanket, bring it onto your mat so that the top of the blanket comes to the top of your shoulders. Head and neck are fully off the blanket. Really make sure that no part of your neck is on the blanket here. So we're decreasing the angle of compression on the neck. And then recline fully on the back, arms alongside the body, tops of shoulders to the top edge of your blanket. To make this a bit more comfortable, you can create a thicker blanket, folding it over 2 or 3 times. We'll start with palms down, pressing through the arms. We'll take the whole shoulder stand sequence today, starting with plow. With an inhale, send the legs up and overhead, and then bring the hands right to the lower back. Start to walk your elbows in. Tuck your shoulder blades together. Maybe feet hover off the ground. Maybe toes touch the ground above your head. And hold here in plow pose. This gives our neck a chance to open up before lifting into shoulder stand. If this is enough, you can stay right here. Otherwise, keeping hands on the lower back, begin to send the legs high. 2 options. You can sit the hips back to the hands, making a 45-degree angle with the legs, or you can move toward full shoulder stand, Shalamba Sarvangasana, Sending ankles over knees, knees over hips, really walking elbows and shoulder blades together. Ideally holding about 10 rounds of breath here. If this becomes too intense, sit the hips back to the hands and breathe. Even as the chest lifts to the chin, keep the back of the neck relaxed. Keep the chin relaxed. A few more breaths if you're still in full shoulder stand. Eventually, we're making our way back to plow pose. If you haven't already, begin to release the feet back overhead. If the toes do touch the ground behind the head, option to release the hands from the hips, interlace the palms, reach the fists away from the body. A few more rounds of breath in plow pose. Last stage of our shoulder stand sequence, Karna Pidasana. Bring the hands back to the lower back, bend the knees, draw the knees to the forehead. Stay right here, or start to slide the knees outside the ears, letting feet release to the ground. Ear closing pose. With time, knees will come to cover the outer ears, closing off sound. And breathe. From Karna Pidasana, straighten the legs overhead, hands to the hips. Slowly lower down to the lower back, but keep drawing legs to the belly. Eventually, legs point straight up. Point your toes and release the legs all the way forward and down. Good, really nice effort. Slide that blanket out from underneath you. Really important to take a counter pose after shoulder stand. Matsyasana, fish pose. Draw your legs together, point the toes, and then prop up on the forearms. Walk your elbows under your shoulders. Draw your chin to your chest so you're looking right between the big toes. And then press the palms and forearms down. Take an inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, roll the shoulders back and down. And release the neck back if that feels okay. So buttocks and legs and heels are on the mat here. Imagine a string lifting your sternum toward the sky, creating a back bend with the buttocks on the mat. Take one more inhale, draw the chin to the chest, slowly lower to the back, release, and then bend the knees, plant the feet on the outer edges of the mat, let the knees rest gently against one another. Bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Slightly draw your chin to your chest so you lengthen through the back of the neck. And then take 3 deep Ujjayi breaths here. In and out through the nose. Start to smooth down your breath after our shoulder stand sequence. Keep the breath moving. Next inhale, draw the knees to the chest and start to rock and roll, taking any intuitive movements that feel good, releasing through the lower back and outer hips. And then make your way back through center, hugging knees into the chest. Next, inhale, send the left leg long. Keep that right knee hugging in. Flex both sets of toes. We're setting up for a twist here. Another deep inhale, knee to the chest. Exhale, right knee up and over to the left. Roll to your left hip and send your right arm to the right. Anytime we're in a twist on the back, making sure both shoulder blades stay on the mat. You can always slide a prop under that right knee and then shift your gaze to the right. Maybe closing eyes all together. And breathe. Supta Matsyendrasana. With all our spinal twists on the back, striving to keep that knee at or above hip height, so you're really twisting from the base of the spine. Feet and ankles are relaxed. The neck and face are relaxed. One more full Ujjayi breath cycle here. Next, inhale, draw the right knee in, squeeze it in. Exhale, send the right leg long. And we'll move right to the second side. Keeping the right leg long, with an inhale, draw the left knee to the chest. Flex all 10 toes. Keep the shoulders on the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, left knee up and over to the right. Send your left arm to the left. Shift your gaze left. Once more, letting the shoulder blades relax. Striving to keep that right leg long here as you rest on the outer right hip. And breathe. It's a good time to close the eyes or really soften your drishti as you begin to use your breath to calm and cool the nervous system and the body. Next, inhale, draw the left knee to the chest, roll to the back, and then send both legs long. Feel that new length through the whole body. And start to make your way towards Shavasana, our final rest. If there's any other postures or movements you need here, you're welcome to take that now. No rush. In your own time, finding any clothing or props you need to be comfortable and warm. As you begin to settle fully in on the back body. Start to actively notice a pause after each inhale, belly filled with air, and a pause after each exhale, belly empty. Remembering this practice in breath control is a tool you can bring with you when you leave your yoga mat. And if you haven't already, finish up any last movements. Start to make your way fully to the back. For traditional Shavasana, legs extended long, adjusting the distance between the legs so you can fully release through the pelvic floor and the outer hips. Turning the palms up can help to tuck shoulders underneath. Once more, coming back to our focus on the neck. Lightly draw the chin to the chest. Imagine you're lengthening the back of the neck. And then let the whole head release and relax. Just as we prepare for sleep at the end of the day, finding our longest, most open, relaxed shape for Shavasana. We'll take a body scan, releasing and relaxing through all 4 quadrants of the body. When I say a part of the body, focus on it, engage the muscles there, and then let it release. We'll begin with right hand, right arm, right shoulder, left hand, left arm, left shoulder, right foot, right leg, right hip, left foot, left leg, left hip, top of the head, crown chakra, between the eyebrows, back of the throat, releasing tip of the tongue from the roof of the mouth, heart center, Anahata chakra, bottom of the rib cage, behind the navel, and the pelvic floor, root chakra. Letting go of all focus on postures and breath control, asana and pranayama. Becoming very quiet and still as you rest easy in Shavasana, corpse pose. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Akanda Mandalakaram Vyaptamena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om. Take a long, slow inhale through the nose. Open the mouth and exhale it out. Begin to wiggle fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And when you're ready, move toward a full body stretch, reinvigorating from fingers to toes. Eventually drawing both knees to the chest, rolling to the right side body, and taking a few generous breaths in this liminal shape before bringing head above heart. No rush or urgency. When you're ready to rise, press your way to your most comfortable seat. We'll end our practice as we began, sitting tall. As you find your seat, ground down through left and right sides. And then bring palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Press thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. We'll close our practice with one round of Om, the universal sound of nature. If you're newer to chanting, you're welcome to join in at any pitch you like, or simply listen. Preparing to inhale to Om. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. Namaste. Whether you join live or on your own time, glad to practice with you. Feel free to send feedback, requests for the future. And if you do join my live classes, as of this week, we're moving fully to Zoom through the winter, but I'll continue to post YouTube content as well. If you'd like to support donation-based yoga, you can donate by Venmo and PayPal to Freelancer PhD, FreeLancer PhD. Thanks so much and hope to practice with you soon.